Why don't we start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South? Jack, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I mean, they're a contender. They're already in the divisional round. They're going to win the South. Well, I should not forget about the Saints. No, they're a contender. A team who was
the Falcons. I'm sorry. Did Kirk Cousins
he didn't impress? I think Philly might stink. Seriously.
Well, hold on a second. You want to say the Falcons are good though, because the Steelers beat them.
Well, it's a mix. Falcons are good.
Yeah, okay.
It's a mix. Falcons are good, and Philly's not that good. It's a little mix of both.
It's whatever the argument.
It's yeah, pretty much. I'm going to say contender. On this Bucs team, a team who I thought could have legitimately been in the NFC Championship game last year. Baker Mayfield, he needed to change the scenery. That's really all it is. He needed to go down to South Florida, down to Tampa, change the scenery.
It seems to help most people.
Yeah, he's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, two elite receivers. I mean, probably slept on as some of the best in football. No one really seems to ever talk about those two. And to pick up last year, after last year's playoff run, to now be 2-0, go to Detroit, beat the Lions, defense looking awesome, and with some injuries too. They're a total contender in my eyes if we're going divisional round.
Contender for Jack, Ziggy, contender, pretender, Buccaneers.
I'm almost 50-50 on this team because they've looked pretty decent, but I don't think any quarterback in the league has been helped more than Baker Mayfield. And I'm not sure. I mean, Godwin and Evans at this point are producing after they catch at a historic rate. I agree with Jack. They are very, very good. One of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. But even they've never produced this much after the catch. And if that slows down, you start asking Baker Mayfield to do more. Things can get dangerous.
They can't run at all right now.
Yeah, you've got no run game. Bucky Irving's going to take over the room in like 2 weeks. And no disrespect to my guy Bucky, but I don't think that's happening. And the defense has been bend, don't break, and it's worked well so far.
They're injured.
But they're injured.
You know, they're injured.
Look, it's difficult to bend, don't break your way into the playoffs and into success in the playoffs. I don't want to put in too many contenders, so I'm going to put them in pretender. But I think they are far and away the best of my pretenders, and it wouldn't take a lot to convince me to move them up.
Ziggy.
Paul, so now break the tie.
So we have
break the tie.
Pretender from Ziggy.
We know what Paul's
Jack.
Yeah, we know what Paul's saying.
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, if our criteria is making the divisional round of the playoffs, Bucs fans have the right to sit back and look at you, Ziggy, and say, "But Mr. Ziegler, we were there last season, and frankly, we should have gone. We had an opportunity to go to the NFC Championship game, and I think they're right to call you out on that." Now, I've been to Cleveland before, and I've been to Tampa Bay before. No disrespect to Ohio. Lovely state. Beautiful in the summer. We went to school in the Midwest. It's nice out in the Midwest. But then you get to...
Not in Cleveland.
You get to November. You get to December, January, February, March. I mean, March is just a horrendous month in Cleveland. Imagine like living in Cleveland in March, unless at the NCAA tournaments there, it's just tough.
Living there in June or July is tough too.
We get it. And look, I know a lot of people from Ohio who love it. Nice state. But there are some times where it's tough. You go down to Tampa Bay, and you're down by St. Pete's, going out on the water. You're having lunch outside. You feel the breeze coming in, palm trees. Baker Mayfield looks like he's had that upgrade, not just in his lifestyle, but also in his play. And he's confident. He's having fun at the podium. He's not snippy. Like, I think Baker right now is in a great spot. And there is a limit to how far Baker can take you in all likelihood. Like, I would be surprised to see them playing in the Super Bowl. But in terms of having the opportunity to get there in a divisional round game or even the NFC Championship, I think they can absolutely get there. The offense is not saying like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You're kind of waiting for them to slow down, and I haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to say contender. With the I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. So that's where our criteria matters here.
Bucs Forge.
But yeah, I like the Bucs. I mean, I think they're a really fun team, and I think that they're going to be competing for the NFC South all season. Let's see. The Magic 8 Ball says, are the Bucs contenders? Outlook good.
Oh, there you go.
Outlook good on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's going against Ziggy. All
right, let's keep it in the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints, who are blistering, 45.5 points per game on offense, 405.5 total yards per game. Derek Carr looks good. Alvin Kamara rejuvenated. Defense flying around. Ziggy, contender, pretender.
You know, I am usually hesitant to move too far off of my preseason rankings, but what the Saints have shown in these first 2 weeks is impossible to ignore. The offense looks completely different. right? Clint Kubiak, I apologize to Saints fans. Paul, you and I, as scarred Vikings fans, said there's no way bringing this guy in is going to change your offense. It did, right? He has a much better running scheme. That running scheme is making things much easier on Derek Carr. It's making things open up in the back. Dennis Allen still has a functional defense, right? Even though Marshawn Lattimore is hurt, they're still making it work. And honestly, I feel like with all of the chatter they've gotten and everyone being on the hot seat, this team is very motivated. So, they're the highest scoring team in the NFL. They routed the Cowboys on the road. How do you not put them at contender?
Oh, this team's amazing. And I had them at number 4 in my power rankings, and they fell at number 4 in our joint power rankings. They got playmakers all over the place. I'm starting Shaheed in fantasy this week, no doubt. He's been on my bench the last 2 weeks. He'll be in the lineup this week. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. Derek Carr looks like he's found himself. I mean, like, what is this? Like, Derek Carr, he's back. He's back. Defense flying all over the place. If you go into Dallas and by 30 points, you can't sit here and tell me, oh, they're a pretender. Absolutely not.
Man, I hate the Saints. I dislike the Bears. I have a strong disliking of the Green Bay Packers. I hate the Saints. They are my least favorite team, possibly in professional sports.
But they're good.
And I do have to acknowledge that, through 2 weeks, we're completely wrong. And all the Saints fans who got on us saying Clint Kubiak's going to change the offense, as you said, Ziggy, they look right at this point in time. In the red zone, 8 for 9 converting on touchdowns. They're 57.1% on third down. If you take away their fourth quarter plays, when they've kind of just been running out the clock, they've converted 14 of 17 third downs. Like, they are just clicking. And as Lucas Patrick, their guard, said, Clint's in his bag. So I think at this point in time, I am hoping for a negative turnaround on New Orleans. But based on the evidence that I have seen, you can't say anything other than contender right now. It's just pure hoping that, for me, that they become a pretender. The Magic 8 Ball says, will the Saints be a contender? Reply
It'll get back
later
to us.
and try again.
It'll get back to us.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll come back at the end on the Saints. I'll have come back.
I was born on the Feast of St. Luke, so I've always been a bit of a Saints guy myself.
There's a feast day for a Saint on basically any day, Jack.
Oh, is there?
Not always for someone as big as Luke the Evangelist, but
Yeah, Luke's a pretty big one.